Okay, so we're back. I'm getting ready to make the glue for doing this sinew here. And basically what I use is either Knox gelatin or this other Kroger unflavored gelatin. Today I'm going to be using this one because this is not open. I still got some packets left in here, so we're going to use up the rest of these before I break into the Knox. Anyway, so what we do is just water's not quite warm enough yet, but I've got it on high just to get the temperature up. And then after I get the temperature going, then I'll put it to warm or low and mix the glue, and hopefully it'll get thick enough to go ahead and put on the bow. Anyway, I'll put probably I don't know what I got in water. I just eyeballed it. It's probably a cup or so, or half a cup of water in there, just waiting for it to get warm. And then I'm going to put 4 or 5 packets of this gelatin in there and mix it up and get it going. So we'll turn the camera back on when that water is ready. Okay, so we got the glue going. I ended up putting about 7 of those packets into this water, and if you don't pour them in slow and mix them while you're doing it, they're gonna clump up like they kind of did on me right here. I was in a hurry, so I poured it a little bit too fast, but I'll just keep mixing it till they all dissolve. And what we're gonna do first is we're gonna size the bow. And that is, we're going to put a light coating of glue all up and down the back of the bow, so that the wood will soak in all the glue that it's going to soak in before we start laying the sinew on here. If you don't size the bow first, when the glue dries, it'll create dry spots underneath, and then it won't adhere to the back of the bow. So it's always a good idea to size the bow, coat it with glue, let the glue dry to like a tacky feel, and then go ahead and put your sinew on the top. So I'm going to get the camera set up here and size the bow. Okay, so the glue is ready. So here we go. We're going to start putting a thin coating of glue along the back of the bow. Just to get it soaked into the wood so that the sinew won't lift off of it. Hopefully it won't lift off of it when we glue it down. If you look at it in the light, you can see like there's a dry spot right here. The wood has soaked it in, and it's a little dry here, so I'm going to put a little bit more glue there. And basically you want the glue to soak into the wood as far down as it can go, so it'll adhere to a little bit better to the glue that's going to be put and spread upon the top of it. Okay, so we're just going to let that dry, and then we're going to start laying our sinew. You know, usually what I do, I soak these in water and let them become limp and really pliable. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to leave them dry like this. I'm going to put them in the glue. The glue will soften them up a lot as well. And I think I'm just going to do it that way, because doing it in water, then you got to lay them all out, and it gets kind of messy, and I'm just going to dump them straight into the glue and let them get soft that way. So we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we're back. I've already got a little bit of the sinew on the bow already, and basically what I do, I just go down the middle, right down the middle of the back of the bow, and then I'll start staggering the layers of sinew, like kind of like brickwork. You know, you don't want any straight lines going across. You want them staggered as you lay them down. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and continue on with a little bit more, and after I get the first layer in, I'll put the camera back on. Okay, so basically what you do, you just grab a bundle of sinew and dump it in the glue here. It's going to take a few seconds for the sinew to get fully saturated with the glue. That's why I didn't film the other portion of this, because it just takes so long to do sometimes, but I wanted to get this on camera so you could see real quick how we do it. So we've got the sinew all saturated with glue, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put on the edges and just stagger the seams so that, you know, they're like brickwork, you know. So we've got this one layer right here. So you're going to stagger the seams, and you're also going to overlap. That's what I did with this first layer going down the middle. I overlapped them going down, and now I'm going to stagger them along the sides. So that's how that looks when we do that. Okay, get one more and then we'll turn the camera off and I'll get the rest done. You want to make sure you get it spread as evenly as you can, because when the sinew dries, it will, if it's not perfectly, well, not perfectly, but if it's not evenly spread, it could affect the tiller of the bow. Then you'll have to retiller the bow. But if you have it pretty much evenly spread, it'll affect the bow evenly, and then you won't have to retiller so much. So there you go. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off, get the rest of this bow done, then we'll turn it on later. Okay, so we're back. We've got the bow covered with one layer of sinew, and I can already see that there's a couple of spots that I missed, but I'll fix that. I'll fix that later. I decided, rather than putting two layers on the bow, I'm just going to keep one layer, and because I'm also going to back it with rawhide. I'm going to cover the sinew with rawhide, because if it gets wet, you know, it'll come apart. So the rawhide will help keep the sinew dry when you're outdoors, and, you know, if you're in the rain or whatever. So I'm just going to keep it with one layer of sinew. I think that'll be okay. The bow's pretty well tillered already, and it's a short bow, so it's not meant to be drawn full draw, so I think it'll be all right. I'm going to put the rawhide backing on here, and I think that'll help protect the back a little bit more. It'll be better to put 2 layers of sinew, but I think I'm just going to leave it with 1 layer and put the rawhide on the back. So the next video we show will be applying the rawhide.